Hi. Okay, I just got back from a convention called Daku Con. Was working that all weekend, so I decided to do this story time because it was actually pretty funny because this is the last day of the con, and it was just the last end of the hentai room airings, and one of the guys that was helping run the room had somehow forgot to come back. And left one of the security people in charge, and there were two other guys in the room. Nice attendees, very sweet-natured people. I appreciate them very much, because they kind of kept the humor going, as I had been asked to take over for this poor security girl who had not gotten any sleep whatsoever. She probably had the sum of 3 hours of sleep, and she was falling apart in general, and she was supposed to be security. My fiance was also in that room earlier watching the room too, which he was not supposed to be doing at all. So, as I was part of programming, I was coming down at around 7 in the morning when I came into ops, and one of the guys comes up and says, "Are you on yet?" "I'm on." And he said, "Oh, good." I was talking to my fiance, and then they heard, "Poor cat, the poor girl." I will not give her a real name. She was really upset, and I saw her, and she's like, "I need someone to watch this room. I have two guys in there. They're really nice guys." And I said, "Okay, what?" And one of the guys like, "Hey, why don't you do? Hey, Nagi, go do this." "Okay." I am not a hentai person. I love anime, but I am not a hentai person. Hentai is just not my thing. Everybody has their own taste in anime, and if there's hentai fans out there watching this, you guys are great. You're nice. Don't worry about it. You're not a creep. You're not creepers in my eyes. Most hentai fans are not creepers. They just have a very different taste of things. They're not... The most of them I've met are really respectful of the people that don't like hentai. So I was only in there for maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and then they decided to shut down early. And they said, "You're free, you can go to the VIP room, just grab your breakfast and go." I go, and I run into I'm like, "We have to leave early." I was supposed to watch the video room for Clash of the Titans, which was the classic one I really, really wanted to do. And it's one of my favorite movies, and I couldn't do it. I was really bummed out. So, anyway, I was talking to one of the, to my friend in the VIP room who was doing the lunch stuff, and she said, "Oh, I'll take over for you." Okay, sweet. So, we were done. I had to do, regaffing the panel room one with gaff tape, because we had to take up the tape for for one of the panels from late in the evening. Redid that, came back, redid something else, gave the tape back, walked back to my, got told, "Take a break, enjoy the con, you've worked hard enough." In fact, I had worked, I believe, over my hours, and I was asked to come back next year because I am a floater. I'm good at floating between different areas. I'm good. So I meet up with one of my friends, Elle. She's a really sweet person. It is spelled L-I, so it's pronounced... Actually, it's not that. It's E-L-L-E, so we pronounce it L. Elle and I were walking around, and she was having a little bit of an issue because she had gotten locked out of her room. And we walked in, handed her the keys. I helped her get her key and everything, and we went downstairs to get some water. But she didn't know about the free water downstairs. She does have a medical condition, and we were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a..." And we were talking about some anime, and she's like, "So what were you doing this morning this early?" "I was manning the hentai room." "Oh!" And I start laughing, and I said, "I'm really not into hentai." And this poor guy comes up, really nice guy. He goes, "You're into anime and you're not into hentai?" And I go, "Nope, not into it. That's the most wonderful thing about anime. You don't have to be into... You do not have to be into porn, okay? Hentai, maybe 1%, maybe 10% of anime is hentai. And the funny part is, most of the hentai that was being viewed was from the 1980s, was poorly done, poorly dubbed. And you could just laugh your ass off at it half the time. And truthfully, what I really appreciated it was the guy could have come off as a real creep and a real jerk. But he started laughing and goes, yeah, that's actually kind of funny. And he's like, you poor little white girl. And then I was like, oh, you're black. I couldn't really see you in the low light. My eyes were not adjusting very well. And all I could hear was the voice. Couldn't match the face. Very nice guy. And then I met up with the two guys that were in the hentai room earlier, who were not quite awake, but they had to get out of their hotel room. And they were thanking me for the fact that I tolerated doing that when I wasn't supposed to. And honestly, that's the one thing that most people don't realize at an anime convention or even a sci-fi geek convention, especially if it's 18 plus. Not everybody is into porn and into the adult factors. Yeah, adult factor is great, but not everybody's into it. And I'm not into it, but I have friends who are, and the friends that are also con directors, and I'm just going to say it. These people are great. They're wonderful people. They've known me for years, and they know I'm not into hentai and stuff, but they love to inflict it on me to see my reactions, because some of my reactions are pretty funny, and we do an MS3K of some of the hentai that we see. Now, if you are a fan of hentai, that is okay. Sometimes making fun of what you like is sometimes part of the deal. I do that with Forever Night, and I usually sit there and watch a couple episodes, and then I'm sitting there with my mental commentary going, okay, this is where the plot hole fits in. This is where the problem fits in. You do not have to like everything you are into sometimes. There are certain aspects of anime I'm not into, and that's usually the most mainstream. Naruto, Bleach, Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. The one thing I like about One Piece fans, they are the most tolerant, most friendly people I've ever met. And they don't judge you if you do not like what they like. I absolutely love these people. And they're not rude or intolerant. Anyway, so that was my experience at Daku Con this year. Well, I'm going to give the name of the con. Yes, Daku Con. It is an amazing convention. The con is awesome. The directors are such sweet people. I've known them for years. I have known a lot of people from the community that I'm in, and they are simply the most amazing. I want to thank them personally for letting me be part of the staff this year, and I'm going to come back next year as part of this because it's just an amazing group of people, and I love running my panels, and being told I'm the most personable person, I think that is just nice. My panels were great. I ran 3 panels this year. One was on dark fantasy, which was probably a conglomerate between me and my sister, who's no longer with us, and and my panel on Japanese horror movies, which I love people making suggestions of horror movies for me to watch because I cannot sit through The Audition. I cannot sit through Old Boy. I cannot sit through a lot of stuff anymore because finding it is like a pain in the neck. So yeah, I love it when people make a suggestion. My dark fantasy panel was awesome. The people that came were great. I also ran a panel on how to write fantasy novels and not how to get intimidated by your own critics because you're your own worst critic, so you don't need that. And I might actually be doing more with the Obscura stuff. My Facebook account for CCG Obscura, which is on Facebook right now, is doing really well. We just did a tutorial on how to play Kaze, which is a furry furry CCG that my friend Michael put together. So yeah, Nagi Nayo 101 signing out. Have a great night.